Hi students, this is AJ sir. Let's study 10th standard ICSE math exercise 14C, equation of a line, formation of equations. Exercise 14C. Now we will see ways in which we can form equations of a line. First, let's understand some basic terms. X-intercept. Now, if this line cuts the x-axis at A and the y-axis at B, then this distance OA is called the x-intercept. So if point A was, let's say, 6, 0, then 6 is the x-intercept. And if point B is 0, 3, then 3 is the y-intercept. These terms will be useful ahead. Now there are a few ways to create the equation of a line. Type 1, slope-intercept form. The formula is y is equal to mx plus c, where y and x are unknown variables. M and c are terms which we will have to substitute. M is the slope which will be given in the question. C is the y-intercept. Second method is point slope form. So in the question, if one point is given and the slope is given, then we will use the formula y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1, where x1, y1 are the coordinates of the point given and m is the slope. X and y are unknown variables, so they will stay as it is. When we will solve the sums, you will see what form this takes. Type 3, which is very similar to type 2, is a 2 points form where the slope isn't given, 2 points are given. Now we know that if we know 2 points, we can find the slope using the formula this. Once we find the slope, now we can use the previous formula, which is y minus y1 is m, which we have just calculated, x minus x1. There is one more method which is rarely used, but you should be aware of it. If the x-intercept and y-intercept are given, let's assume it's a and b, then directly we can say the equation is x upon a plus y upon b is equal to 1. Let's start with question number 2. Find the equation of a line whose y-intercept is equal to -1 and inclination is equal to 45 degrees. From the inclination, we will get the slope. And the y-intercept is given, which is nothing but c. So always write the data first. Slope is tan theta, which is tan of 45, which comes out to be 1. And c is given as -1. So the required equation is y is equal to mx plus c. Here y and x will always remain as it is. We don't have to do anything with it. M's value substitute, c's value substitute. This is the equation of the line. So even without drawing the graph, we can find out which equation, which line it is using such formulae. Next, the fourth question. Find the equation of a line. So again, inclination is given. So from that we can find the slope. And a point is given. So here we will have to use a point slope form. So write the data first. Slope is equal to tan 60, that is root 3. And a point is given. So x1 will be 5 and y1 will be 4. This was the slope intercept form we used, type 1. And this is type 2, where we will use the point slope form or slope point form. This is the standard equation where y and x will remain as it is. M, slope's value we know. y1 and x1 values also we know. It's given in the question. Simply substitute them. Be careful about the signs. Rearrange the terms, open the brackets, and this is the final format of writing an equation. It's always y is equal to x plus something something constant number. If you write this first and 4 at the end, that's okay. Next, cancel 5.1. Let's do the 6th question. Now this is type 3 where 2 points are given, slope is not given. So how do we solve such a sum? First, we find the slope. Roman number 1 says find the gradient of PQ. That is nothing but the slope, and if 2 points are given, we know how to find the slope. Then Roman number 2, find the equation. Well, once we have the slope and since we have the point, we can use a slope point form. And Roman number 3 relates to our previous exercises as well. So first of all, I'm writing the data first, x1, y1, x2, y2. Then I'll find the slope, which comes out to be 1 upon 5. Next, we can use the point slope form. The format is y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Substitute the value of x1 and y1 here from here. Note that if I would have called this point as x1, y1 and that point as x2, y2, it would have made no difference. I would have still got the same answer. So once we get the value, substitute, of course cross multiply, open the brackets, and the standard form always is coefficient and y is equal to x plus or minus some constant number. This is the required equation. So if you wish, you can write is the required equation. Now Roman number 3 says find the coordinates of the point where PQ intersects the x-axis. This equation that we got is the equation of PQ. If it intersects the x-axis, whenever we have a point lying on the x-axis, we know that the coordinates of that point of intersection are x comma 0. So we will say let the point of intersection with the x-axis be x comma 0. Since it is lying on the equation PQ, it will satisfy the equation. We have done such sums earlier. So in this equation, substitute the value of y as 0. X's value we don't know. We will solve and get the value of x. So that point of intersection is minus 28 comma 0. Next, the 8th question. Here we have 2 lines and we have to find equations of both the lines. We have a point which lies on both the lines. If only we can find the slope, then finding the equation is quite straightforward. We can use a slope point form. Fortunately, we can see the inclination, and from theta we can find the slope. So let's focus on AB first of all. For AB, theta is 45, so the slope is tan 45, 1. And x1 comma y1, I'm writing the data 3 comma 4. That's a good habit to write the data first. Slope point form, this is the form. Substitute m, x1, y1 and get the equation of AB. Similarly, let's solve for CD. Here the theta was 60 degrees, so slope is root 3. x1, y1 is same. Slope point form, substitute the values of m, y1, x1. Open the brackets, rearrange the terms. This is the final answer. This is the equation of CD. Next, the 10th question. Here we have to find the equation of line BC and CD. For BC, I have one point at least, that is point C. But I need one more information, either one more point or the slope. I have the slope. Or rather, I can find the slope using theta. But where is the theta? Well, if this is 60 degrees, then by corresponding angles this is 60 degrees, and then by corresponding angles this is 60 degrees, because you see AD is parallel to CB and AB is parallel to the x-axis. So that's how this is 60, and if theta is 60, then the slope is tan 60, which is root 3. And we already have one point. Fortunately, we can just directly write theta is 60 degrees, corresponding angles. No need to show all the geometrical steps of how it is 60 degrees for this sum. Now I am using the slope intercept form, substituting the values of m, x1 and y1, rearranging the terms to get the equation of BC. What about CD? Well, CD is parallel to the x-axis, and when any line is parallel to the x-axis, what is the slope? 0. So slope is 0 and we know 1 point. So again we will use a slope point form, substitute the values and get the equation y is equal to 5. There's no x here. And that makes sense, whenever any line is parallel to the x-axis, it is always in the format of y is equal to something. Here, this point is 0, 5. So obviously the line passing through this is y is equal to 5. But you don't have to worry about the logic. You just have to solve the equation and get the answer. Now the 12th question. In triangle ABC, the coordinates of A, B and C are given. They want two things. First, they want the equation of the median AD, and they want the equation of a line EB which is parallel to AC. First of all, let's talk about AD. D is a midpoint of BC. So we can find the coordinates using midpoint formula. So I got 2 points here, A and D. So this is type 3. If I have 2 points, from that I can find the slope. Once I find the slope and I have 1 point, so I can use the slope point form to create the equation. So let D be the midpoint and E be parallel to AC, because these things were not given in the question. Always draw diagrams. Using the midpoint formula, I found the coordinates of D. Now AD. I have 2 points. Point A was given and the midpoint I found out, that is D. First find the slope, that is 1. Then use the point slope form. M's value we found out, y1 and x1's values substitute. By the way, again I'm saying that if I would have taken this as x1, y1 and this as x2, y2, it wouldn't make a difference. And the equation is y is equal to x plus 3. What about EB? How do we find the equation of that? I have 1 point B for it. I need one more information. I need another point. That's not possible. I need the slope. How do I find that? Well, won't the slope of EB be same as the slope of AC because they are parallel? But then how do I find the slope of AC? Well, fortunately, I have points A and C. I can find the slope of AC. So the slope of EB is equal to the slope of AC, since they are parallel, to mention that. And I have 2 points, so using that I can find the slope. And once I find the slope, and I already have 1 point at least, so I can use the slope point form again to substitute and get the equation. Next, the 14th question. Find the equation of the perpendicular dropped from the point this onto the line joining points this and this. So first of all, you try to draw a diagram. Pause the video and draw the diagram yourself. Let's see if you can figure it out. Well, see here. Did you draw it like this? A and B points are given, and from C, drop a perpendicular. Find the equation of CD, they have asked. We have to mention that let CD be perpendicular to AB because this point D is our invention or assumption. It was not there in the question. In order to find the equation of CD, I need 2 things. Always we need 2 things. Either I want 2 points, or I want 1 point and 1 slope, or I want 1 point and 1 intercept. Here I have 1 point, but I don't have the slope. But since it is perpendicular to AB, I think if I find the slope of AB, I will be able to find the slope of CD. But how do I find the slope of AB? Well, for AB I have 2 points given. So using those 2 points, I can directly find the slope -1. And you know CD is perpendicular, so its slope will be a negative reciprocal of this slope, which comes out to be 1. Now that I have 1 point C and the slope, I can use the slope intercept form to write the equation of CD, which comes out to be y is equal to x plus 3. In the 15th question, cancel 15.1 and 15.2, and 15.3 will be for homework, and for that you'll have to use that rare formula which I had shown here. That will be an easier method. There is a long cut method without using this, but since this is a very short method, you should learn this formula. Let's do the 16th question. Here the slope is given, that's great news, but the x-intercept is given. If y-intercept was given, we would have had use a direct formula to get the equation, but x-intercept is given. 6. What is the meaning of x-intercept? It simply means the part of x-axis cut by the line. And you know, when they say x-intercept is 6, we know that the point of intersection will be 6, 0. Every point lying on the x-axis will have y coordinate as 0, fixed. So that's good news. So I am getting a point on that line and I have the slope. If they would have given x-intercept as -5, then the point of intersection would have been -5, 0. So now the sum is easy, because now they have given us the slope and indirectly they have given us a point, and that point is 6, 0. So slope point form. Slope point form, substitute the value of m, x1, y1 as well, solve, cross multiply, LCM, do whatever it takes and get the equation of the line. Next, the 18th sum. Find the equation of the line through this point and making an intercept of 5 on the y-axis. Well, if it's intercept of 5 on the y-axis, that means the point of intersection of the line and the y-axis will be 0, 5, isn't it? So again, indirectly, they have given us 2 points in the question. One is 1, 3, and the other they have given indirectly 0, 5. So if we have 2 points, you know what to do. This is type 3. First find the slope. After you find the slope, you can use a slope point form. But I'm going to take an easier route. I'm going to convert it into a type 1 sum. That is a slope intercept form. This formula. Slope is given and y-intercept is C. X-intercept would have been of no use in this formula, but y-intercept is given. So directly substitute that 5 and get the answer. If you want to use a slope point form, which was like this, y minus y1 is equal to m, x minus x1, even that is fine. You will get the same answer in the end. Now cancel the 20th question. Let's go for the 21st question. Write down the equation of the line whose gradient is -2, 5, gradient means slope, and which passes through the point P, which divides A and B in the ratio 3:1. So here first we'll have to use a section formula to find the coordinates of P. So there is a line passing through P whose slope is given -2, 5. But if only we can find the coordinates of P, then using the slope point form, I can find the equation of this line. But how do I find the coordinates of P? Since the ratio of AP ratio PB is given as 3:1, I can use the section formula to find the x and y coordinates of P. Here notice I have done it directly. I have not solved for x first and y first, because I expect you to be expert in this by now. Here this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2, and this is m1 ratio m2. Substitute the values and I'm getting the point as 10, -2. So I got the coordinates of P. I have the slope of this line. Use a slope intercept formula. Substitute m, x1, y1 and get the equation, this one. But notice that now for the required equation, x1, y1 values are 10 and -2 respectively. Don't think that you have to use the A's values as x1, y1. Okay, that was for AB, but now I'm focusing on let's say line PQ. So don't get confused out here. And finally the 22nd sum. Here the three vertices of a triangle are given and find the coordinates of a centroid first of all. Oh, that's easy. We know the formula for centroid is just take the average of the x coordinates and the average of the y coordinates. So I'm getting this as the answer. Put brackets here. That was centroid G. But the second part says find the equation of the line passing through the centroid and parallel to AB. So if it is passing through the centroid, at least we have the coordinates of a point. But I need one more thing. If only I can find the slope of this. Well, it's parallel to AB, so the slopes will be equal. So let's find the slope of AB. But how do we do that? Well, 2 points are given. So using those 2 points, find the slope of AB. That is the slope of this line GE as well. And then using the slope intercept form, slope point form. M is the slope, x1, y1 is the point G. Substitute the values and get the equation as this. Hi students, if you found this video useful, press the like button. Also, to enroll for my online lectures or online test series, email me or message me on Instagram. Check the description for more information.